What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of ezBUCKETz. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. In today's video, I got something that I guarantee you guys are gonna love, especially if you're a Los Angeles Lakers fan. The NBA trade deadline is literally a week away, and we are getting so many updates, so many rumors about what the Lakers might be doing. There has already been some players that the Lakers wanted, they just have been traded, and that's why right now they gotta make some moves because they don't want to risk everybody that they want to become unavailable. We got some new news that the Lakers want Isaiah Thomas, a point guard. We're gonna be talking about that, and we're also gonna be talking about Dennis Schroder. So if you're a big Lakers fan and you want to know more, you're gonna like this. But quickly, before I get out of the video, just want to say, if you're new to the channel and you love basketball, welcome to ezBUCKETz. My name is Soom, and I make basketball videos every single day. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications to not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you watched this video and you loved it, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. It would help out the channel a lot. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, you're watching it and learning about it and hearing about it on the fly, unless it involves your team. That's pretty much it. You know, unless you having any type of transactions that happen with your team, you really don't get too much involved into it. Besides just having sidebars and saying which team improved, which team didn't improve, which team could have got this guy, that guy, whatever. Teams are always just trying to figure out a way how to get better, especially the ones that believe they can make a run for a championship. So. That's the way it's always been with the trade deadline and the buyouts and things of that nature. So it's 10 days. There's going to happen really fast. So we'll see what happens over the next 10 days.
Who out here is excited? Because literally within the next week, we're going to be waking up to some crazy NBA updates. We're gonna hear about trades here, we're gonna be hearing about trades there, and we're talking about the Lakers. We are all excited to see what ultimately happens, which player they ultimately get. Ever since the beginning of the season, Rob Pelinka, the GM, has stated that in this upcoming NBA trade deadline, they're not gonna sit back and do nothing. Even though the Lakers have an amazing roster, they're gonna still try to get better, and I just love that attitude. And with the NBA trade deadline being on March 25th, there are so many rumors that are picking up right now. This is what LeBron said when he was asked about the NBA trade deadline. I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea what's going on behind closed doors with a lot of the other franchises. I won't speak about other franchises. All I can do right now is worry about what we do on a day-to-day basis. Then LeBron says this: we love what we got going on over here. Obviously, everyone is looking to get better. We'll see what happens. A lot of people believe that LeBron James has a lot to do with who the Lakers want. He's somebody that's literally targeting players. In my opinion, I don't doubt that fact. But after LeBron saying this, I genuinely believe LeBron doesn't know what Rob Pelinka and the head office are planning. One thing's for sure though, the Lakers are a championship franchise, which means whatever move they make, they're gonna 100% feel it's the best for the team. Especially this year, with them going all the way for the NBA championship to defend their title. But we just got some new news today from Adrian Woj that the Lakers could make a deadline move to improve ability to re-sign Dennis Schroder, Alex Caruso, and THT. If you guys don't know, these guys are going to be free agents in this upcoming summer. This is what Woj said. The Lakers are interesting because I think the Lakers are looking a little bit down the road too at their salary structure. Dennis Schroder, they've got to pay him this offseason. It's going to cost well over $20 million a year to keep him. And then he says this: I do think they would like to free up some of that money they owe down the line to put themselves in a position to keep the guys they have there. I think that right now is the center of some of their talks here about the NBA trade deadline. So basically, after reading this, what Woj is saying is that the Lakers are going to make a move potentially to make space for Dennis Schroder to re-sign him, or ultimately if they feel they don't have $20+ million to pay him this summer, they actually might trade Dennis. I'm gonna be honest though, I don't believe the Lakers want to trade Dennis. Laker fans know how important he is, especially in those 4 games. Remember when Anthony Davis went down and then Dennis Schroder missed a few games to COVID? The Lakers love and need Dennis, so in my opinion, do whatever you can to keep Dennis. Dennis also has stated he wants to resign there. With Dennis being 27 years old, he's in the same timeline as Anthony Davis. These two could be the Lakers' future. And then of course LeBron is still in the NBA. LeBron isn't going anywhere anytime soon. This team could be a dynasty for the upcoming, I'd say, next 2 to 3 years. So in these upcoming few days, I want you guys to keep an eye on what the Lakers plan on doing. I wouldn't be surprised if Dennis Schroder pops up in some trade rumors, because the Lakers have to be smart about their future and not just right now. But I do believe 100% if they want to win a championship this year, Schroder must be on the roster. But then this morning we got some new news that the Lakers are going to be interested in Isaiah Thomas. If you guys don't know this, Thomas was a part of the Lakers roster in 2018. After hearing this rumor, it kind of makes sense when it comes to the Lakers potentially making a big time move in this upcoming NBA trade deadline. Let's say the Lakers end up trading Dennis Schroder and they need a backup, or in other words, a reliable point guard. They believe that Isaiah Thomas right now is the best point guard available on free agency. And in my opinion, I agree. IT is the best point guard right now. The biggest rumor is that the Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks want Isaiah Thomas. The Bucks just lost DJ Augustin, so that makes a lot of sense. But I believe getting Isaiah Thomas would help the Lakers' bench depth 100%. There are so many rumors out there that Alex Caruso, who right now is their backup point guard, or even THT, could be traded. And I believe if that's the case, getting IT off free agency wouldn't be a bad idea to replace them. So I do see that being possible only if their backup point guards get traded, or ultimately if Schroder gets traded. I do believe IT has a lot to prove in the NBA. His career has kind of taken a downhill over the past few years, and now he just wants a chance to prove to everybody, kind of like Carmelo Anthony, that he still belongs. And playing for a championship team like the Lakers, it's the perfect spot for him. But recently, when talking about players the Lakers wanted in a trade, PJ Tucker and Trevor Ariza, players the Lakers have been targeting for a long time now. They wanted Ariza in a buyout situation, and they also wanted Tucker in a cheap trade scenario. Both players are no longer available. Ariza went to the Miami Heat, and then Tucker went to the Bucks, two championship contending teams. With the Lakers going for the NBA championship, they can't sit around and do nothing and watch all the players they want going to a different team, going to a championship contending team, and that's why I believe with these moves happening, the Lakers are going to kind of be more aggressive in these upcoming few days. And when it comes to a trade, I believe this is the first trade the Lakers must make or try to get, and that's going for Hassan Whiteside of the Sacramento Kings, and he's the most popular target when it comes to a cheap player when it comes to salary, but a player that's worth way more, especially at that rim protection. Ever since the beginning of the season, every single Laker fans out there said the Lakers have to get a rim protector. Marc Gasol is not good enough and Montrezl Harrell is undersized. And that's why getting Hassan Whiteside, who was in fact the league leader in blocks last season, right now he's on the Sacramento Kings. He is not playing in a good situation. The Lakers must target him. He's only on a minimums contract. A big reason why the Lakers were so successful last year for the NBA championship was because of their rim protection. They had Dwight Howard and they had JaVale McGee. And with both of them not on the roster anymore, the Lakers need side at that front court interior presence. If the Lakers can offer up maybe Alex Caruso or even Markieff Morris, maybe a second round pick in exchange for Hassan Whiteside, I believe that should be enough for the Kings to accept, as the Kings know this upcoming offseason, Whiteside will not re-sign, so they're going to want to try to trade him, get something in return instead of losing him for nothing. Just imagine a deadly closing lineup, especially at the interior defense of Hassan Whiteside and Anthony Davis. Oh boy, this front court would be so scary that teams would not want to drive to the basket. It'll force a lot of three-point shots. Hassan Whiteside, a cheap option, and I believe getting him would go a long way. He would play better than his contract. Another player that's being rumored to the Lakers when it comes to a trade is LaMarcus Aldridge. And right now the Spurs are actually not even playing Aldridge, as LaMarcus and the team has mutually parted ways. The Spurs are trying heavily to trade him right now. Expect to wake up in these upcoming few days to see a Spurs trade. Aldridge is being linked to so many contenders, and I believe the Lakers are one of them. The only problem with getting LaMarcus Aldridge is that the Lakers are going to have to either trade Kuzma or KCP. I'm not sure if they want to do that, but if the Lakers plan on getting Dennis Schroder this upcoming offseason, trading a player who's under their contract for the next upcoming few years to get LaMarcus Aldridge, who is a one-year rental, and then re-sign Dennis Schroder for more money in this upcoming offseason, it kind of makes sense. I'm gonna be honest though, LaMarcus Aldridge isn't as good as he used to be, but I still believe he could be a big contributor to a championship run, especially off the bench. And if the Lakers get him, I believe it wouldn't be a bad idea, as he brings experience, he brings leadership, and of course, he has never won an NBA championship. He would do whatever he can to help the Lakers win. I do believe Whiteside is a better option because he's cheaper, but Aldridge right now, there are some rumors the Lakers want him. But the player that I ultimately believe the Lakers should target is Andre Drummond. I believe this is the best case scenario. Right now the Cavaliers are heavily trying to trade him, and no NBA team wants to offer a big contract to get Drummond. And from what we're hearing, all the Cavs want is a second round pick, and of course a player to salary match. On the Lakers' perspective, I do believe the only way to get Andre Drummond is to hope for a buyout, the same situation that happened with Blake Griffin to the Brooklyn Nets. A lot of people believe the Brooklyn Nets right now are the best team in the NBA and have the best chance of winning. And with the Lakers trying to get better as well, getting Drummond would be the perfect best case scenario. I really hope in these upcoming few days, no team trades for Andre Drummond, the Cavs buy him out, and then the Lakers give him a rest of the year minimum contract, because Drummond right now is being linked to the Lakers, the Nets, and so many contenders. But from what we're hearing, he prefers the Lakers. Marc Gasol right now isn't cutting it as their starting center. Getting Andre Drummond to be that person would be perfect and still have Montrez off the bench. So ultimately guys, this wraps up my video for today, talking about the Lakers and their update right now. What's most important to me is one of your thoughts. What do you believe the Lakers should do during this year's NBA trade deadline? Should they sign IT? Should they trade Dennis Schroder? Or should they go for the players I just mentioned? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!